Saturday, December 6th. Welcome to Ukraine Update. This week exposed something dangerous, not just about Russia, but about the United States. Because while Ukraine is being drone hunted, bombed, and bled, Washington is auditioning for moral collapse. Fake peace talks, sanctions quietly unwound, a sitting president was nearly assassinated in European airspace. And the Kremlin didn't even have to try. America did half the damage itself. Welcome to Ukraine Update. And this is the week the mask slipped officially. We're going to get to talking about all the news. Thank you so much for being here. Let's say hello to our panel today. Johnny, how's it going?
Doing great. Good to see you all, guys. Let's touch on some of these important points that Slavia is doing. A lot of devastating things are happening. Trump is trying to save Russia desperately. Russia is collapsing, but he just won't let it die. I don't think he's going to succeed, and hopefully we can unite and help defeat this evil nation.
Absolutely. And we have Dunk with us today. How are you doing, Dunk?
Hello. What a time to have a sneezing fit.
Oh, no.
I'll be more vocal in a minute once it's passed.
So the force is not with you yet.
There's a force, but it's not the right kind.
Knew that was something like that was coming.
Oh,
and
funny.
we have our host, Dick. How's it going?
Decently well enough on a personal level. We're really seeing the true depths of Shitkov and his real mission now, though. It's anytime you get a blurb that sounds like it could be okay, you just have to wait hours for this hopeless piece of trash to get on social media or something and ruin it.
I gotta say, when I was writing the news brief for this week, there was nothing good in there. Sometimes I see light of day, but this week was,
Yeah.
I don't know, United States is doing some scary and dangerous things right now. Not just to
they're
Ukraine,
gunning
but
for Europe.
yeah, gunning for Europe, for Americans, for
Yeah.
civilians. These are scary, scary times.
Very, very much so. It's Dean, the true depth of who some of these folk are and how they really think and what's important to them is really coming to the forefront now.
So we have to touch on this Wall Street Journal article that made big news, and we cannot let it die. It's basically.
Oops. Sorry, wrong button. Go ahead, Johnny.
I like that one as well.
That's what my week sounded like every 5 minutes looking at the news.
The gist of the article is basically Steve Witkoff being an idiot. He operates and talks with high-profile people on open channel networks, possibly even Russian, maybe Telegram, maybe something like that. And Europeans are reading everything that he has to send to his Russian and American counterparts. And they know everything. Europeans know everything. French people know everything. Germans. They provided this information to Wall Street Journal. And Journal published amazing article, which I cannot say for all of their articles, but this one is just the gist of the story is Witkoff's team, Jared Kushner, which is a relative of Trump. They are already thinking of making deals with Russia in a post they're going to get rid of all the sanctions that are currently on Russia.
Mhm.
They're gonna sign all kinds of lucrative deals for themselves. It's not for American people. It's basically throwing America under the bus, throwing Europe under the bus, Ukraine under the bus. Part of this deal is recognizing Crimea as Russia, Lugansk as Russia, Donetsk as Russia, basically going against everything that United States has been standing for, and against any kind of international law. Because we're not going to recognize any territory taken by force as a legitimate territory. But that's what Trump is planning to do, provided that his team can put some money in the pocket.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's the gist of this article. And another kind of really bizarre detail, and I forget the name of this person, but he's from Trump's close circuit. He wants a personal ability to single-handedly buy out a Nord Stream pipeline, which he's going to need the lobbying of Trump himself to do that. And they already started talking about that. The Nord Stream 2 pipeline was an international huge project built by Russia, Germany, and some other countries involved. Russia used it as a pressure point tool to get Europe to submit basically to all the shenanigans that Russia is doing at the fear of being disconnected from gas when they need it most. So this guy, he just wants to buy it. I feel terrible, but we can look it up. He wants to buy it and privately own it. And this involves lifting sanctions from Russia, restarting this pipeline, which was blown up. It's not working right now. And like connecting Europe to Russian gas again. Have the money flowing to Russia, basically throwing Europe under the bus, throwing Ukraine under the bus, and having a private person owning an international multi-state project in own hands. Basically, we're run by a mafia type of operation right now. We're just trying to make a quick smash and grab at the expense of morality, any kind of things that United States has stood for. And like this is our biggest fight right now, right here. We don't even have to worry about Russia. We have like criminals basically doing all these things.
Yeah.
The thing is, Russia is playing Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Witkoff and Kushner. They're never gonna give Americans money, especially not like now when they desperately need it. So it's a bad deal.
Yeah. I'm sure
There's
there's something in it for Herr Trump. Right.
So
on a personal level, right?
That's what Russia
No,
says.
exactly,
Kind of
yeah.
in the deal, but there is no deal. First of all, there is no deal. Nothing came of this meeting.
No.
Nothing was signed. There was no press conference after. Of course, Trump afterwards said, "Yeah, we got a lot of things done." They didn't. They didn't agree on anything, and it's because Russia does not want to stop the war, and they
Yeah.
won't. They can't, will not, can't stop, won't stop, kind of thing.
Well,
Yeah,
they
So
did
this is
eat.
just to buy time to make America stop the sanctions and actually unleash like on Lukoil. They actually lifted sanctions.
Yeah.
The ones that they were put in October, yeah, they didn't last long. They didn't even have time to take effect for United States to lift them and take them back.
Yeah.
So, but Russia is just going to use that lifeline, this money, to kill more Ukrainians.
Oh, definitely.
Where's the peace?
Yeah. There's no outcome where Russia doesn't continue to be who they are right now into the future. The only thing you can get out of this is a pause as they regroup to keep going. They have to be stopped. This is unbelievable. And then, this whole America first, um, world policy thing they just announced recently. They're just sweeping away all of their ties from years and years and years, and it's terrible. But talking about buddying up to China, and meanwhile you're punking off everybody in Europe.
Yeah,
Not
and
not
now
everybody in Europe.
China is the last on the threat list.
Yeah,
The first, you want to know what's the first threat list? It's domestic, like immigrants.
yeah. Just ask Christy Nome, right? Dunk, what were you saying there?
Yeah, they're not pissing off everybody in Europe because they are backing far right politicians all over Europe.
Yeah, that
the French and the Germans and even Britain with reform. Yeah, they're definitely backing those those type of politicians because they're basically MAGA, just in a different language.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
Yeah,
doing
and
it
Russia
for
is
Russia.
backing them as well.
Yep, there
They're
you
doing
go.
it together with Russia.
Yeah, and we've been
Slavi,
saying
Slavi and I,
that
we think alike.
yeah. Well, we've been talking about this on
Yeah,
the
we talked
channel as
about it.
well, on this show. We've been saying that this is exactly what Russia is doing, is through these like right-wing movements, right parties, and
Yeah.
it's all Russia's doing essentially. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Russia is the
Having its effect.
mastermind here for sure.
We talked about how Russia they amplified this far right movement in Czech Republic, even though Czech has a very pro-Ukrainian president, but they financed this coalition that came to power right now, and now Czech Republic stopped modernizing Ukraine's T-72 and T-80 tanks. Which Ukraine needs to continue the battle. I mean, it's against the interest of Czech Republic, it's against the interest of Ukraine, of Europe. It's only in the interest of Russia. So Russia pays these politicians lots of money, large sums of money, and Russia gets what it paid for. At the expense, like all these politicians are going against the benefit of their own countries, of their own people, their own constituents that they represent. And that's happening here in the United States, but also everywhere else. That's
And the
what
crazy
Russia
thing
buys
is-
with their money.
The crazy thing is none of this is happening in secret. It's all completely transparent. We can see it all happening, but it's just like a steamroller. We just can't stop it coming.
Well, Don,
It's very open.
you guys have the Nigel Farage guy, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Is there an actually like a big following, like where
Yes.
people understand?
It's growing. It's growing. And like you said earlier, they're using the whole immigrants and, hate all the brown people, get them out of our country sort of thing, to rile the British up. Britain for British people
war.
only. Yeah.
It's the culture war that's
It's horrific. It's horrific. It's just hatred. It's just hatred, pumped up as politics.
Yeah. And I find it even more strange on your shores, Dunk, because I've seen so many times on British television, you get some guy that looks like he's straight out of India, right? And he speaks with a British accent. And you get that a lot. Like for this level of that kind of racist hate to be all trying to run amok on your shores seems even more extreme.
Yes, yeah. Well, Richie Sunak, our previous prime minister, he was a little bit on the brown side, so he got away with it.
Yeah,
but he's a posh, rich brown guy in Britain. So yeah, so you can take what you want out of that.
Yeah, retired to Cheshire.
It seems like these like right-wing movements, they don't work more or less in Eastern Europe. In Western Europe, though, it's like how the further you are away, the more likely you're going to get brainwashed by this.
Well, it's even in that thing that the Americans just released. Here's a quote from it. It's more than plausible that within a few decades at the latest, certain NATO members will become majority non-European. So in other words, less white. and America's alliances will be unrecognizable in 20 years. And it just goes on and on. It's literally just racism. It's
And did you hear how they what's happening with that over here? We have lots of far right movements grabbing institutional power right now
yeah.
in United States at an alarming speed. Obviously, all of this is boosted by Russian information campaigns.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're not openly Russian. Like you know that Elon Musk just started. I know you guys talked about this. He started doing geotags on these X accounts that are America First and MAGA and everything. They're not based in.
They're not Americans. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
they shut off that geotagging pretty quickly though once they realised.
Well, then it popped up again, and then it went away again, and it's like they're testing the waters. But I think Musk is going to realize it wasn't to his benefit and probably stuff it away because he doesn't want that stuff exposed. He wants those guys doing that, right?
Mm.
So, did you guys hear about Nick Fuentes? He's like a vile Nazi, basically spreads like the worst Nazi propaganda possible. And he appeared on New York Times. That's how much Russia amplified him. He's just way out there. He was just recently on Tucker Carlson, very friendly 2-hour conversation where they talked about, oh, you're so growing in popularity, so many young people are listening to you. He did not ask him what he's actually talking about. And what he's talking about, basically harmful statements regarding Jewish people. He actually said if he was in power, there would be like gas chambers and everything. He does talk about Adolf Hitler being a good guy for whatever he was doing.
Wow.
He was saying about women that most of them like to be RAPE. Basically, numerous anti-Semitic comments, calls for holy war against Jews, denying the Holocaust. Basically, claimed that
He denies the Holocaust, but wants one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Claimed that Jim Crow segregation laws were better for Black Americans, and expresses admiration for Hitler. So basically, like the worst kind of human being. And they uncovered that, all these chat rooms of Republicans just saying, "Oh, I love Hitler. I love this. I love that." And he released a video recently after he went on Tucker Carlson, and he's like, "Listen, you guys, we have to go on the ground. Like, don't spread the message that I'm spreading. I'm the best in the world at this." He just looks like he's so hard to watch, with a straight face. He's like, "Go underground. Don't tell people what you believe, and go for government positions, for grabbing power. Try to get into your local government, into your schools, into your universities, somewhere where you're gonna matter." And we have to change this country. We have to, get rid of brown people, get rid of, his last name is Fuentes, though, So, but his skin is pretty white. I have to admit that. But yeah, so that's what's happening in the open. I mean, he goes on Tucker Carlson, this Russia lover, and it's all tied to Russia somehow. Everywhere you look, all this shit that's happening, it's completely funded by Russia. Russia is trying to destabilize and destroy and turn this country into a shitty version of what Russia likes us to be.
Yeah.
They're doing a very good job.
Doing a very good job.
Yeah, the people that love that hate and fight and battle and back and forth, they really take that side because they like that angriness. And I gotta say, it also seems to be quite prolifically populated with those that aren't quite so smart. Little lower on the scale. Little lower. Little lower.
Yeah.
Little lower.
I actually
university
I made a
professors.
post. I made a post that the higher is your IQ. There was a recent study done by a legitimate university, because I looked it up. And basically, they studied like 200 families. And the higher is your IQ, the more liberal leaning are your views going to be.
Mhm.
And the lower the IQ, the more right leaning and kind of a Nazi you're going to be.
Until you get to the really rich, because smart rich people still go to the right because they want the tax breaks and stuff and whatnot. It's very, they don't, if you're like a Bill Gates wealthy person, you don't care about any of that healthcare stuff and blah, blah, because your children will never be poor.
I think Bill Gates is probably the wrong choice.
You know what I mean, though,
Well, it's also the red states are, have less educated people than blue states. It's way higher education in the blue states.
Yeah, those
Didn't
stats are
Trump
pretty
say,
clear.
I love the poorly educated?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Russia targets poorly educated, as you said. That's
Oh, yeah.
exactly. They know exactly who they're targeting. They know how to target them. And actually, they even target people who are educated.
Oh, yeah.
I said this earlier as well. I know some very educated people, but all they care about is fighting the culture war. They don't care about missiles flying. They don't care about like anything but so laser focused on culture war.
Hmm.
And
But it's all related. You defeat Russia, the culture war is going to disappear. You defeat Russia, all these right movements are going to disappear all around the world. When Russia collapses, we're going to get rid of 99% of all the terrorism around the world. These people think it's not related. It's all related from the shit state.
I'm not sure you're going to get rid of it because they've sown a seed now. And there's a movement that Russia may well have been involved in, but that seed has been sown and it's growing into a big old oak tree of nastiness.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong there, because even without the Russian influence, there's quite a few people that are sold on that side of things right now, right? Which is I can't believe it. Come on, you morons, wake up. None of these people preaching all this hard right stuff actually give a rat's ass about you. They're using you for their own benefit. Wake up.
what is
And
that
at the same
benefit, though?
time,
Like
Just-
eventually, what is the end goal here? Is
More
it the
power, more
destruction
money.
of yep, more power, destruction of the
it
world
is-
order.
Yeah.
it's voting for billionaires to rob them. I mean, it's a perfect system.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that Kash Patel is flying his girlfriend on government jets?
Hooker. Pronounce it properly, please.
It's like his girlfriend, whatever. He's trying to impress her. Because, I mean, like, looking at Kash Patel, you need to do everything you can. And basically, he flies her around the country, wherever he's stationed, he flies her in. And he also ordered the protection of a SWAT team to impress her. She must be some kind of target for I don't know. So FBI has to like.
Have you heard her sing? She should be a target.
Got a voice like a donkey.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's crazy that all these people came into power saying that, oh, all our institutions are corrupt. We have to clean up this mess, and
just
there's
make
a
it worse.
swamp of some sort. No, they were lying. They are the ones who are doing all this.
Oh, yeah.
They brought in more corruption.
Yeah,
by saying
exactly.
Not even more corruption. This Elon Musk guy with his Doge team, what were they looking for? Fraud, abuse, and excess expense, whatever. They didn't find one instance of fraud, by the way.
No.
And we should talk about that.
And how
In
many
all
people
that
they fired had to be hired back? Like a good chunk of them. It's ridiculous.
He had a front door entrance into every institution in United States that he had no business being.
Yeah.
He could access everything. They did not find one instance of fraud. and all of their abuse was exaggerated,
Oh, yeah.
overstated, and it was sometimes it was like necessary institutions that they just got rid of to save a couple $1 million or $1 billion, whatever,
Yeah.
which we actually need, like USAID.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Elon Musk just came in, made a mess, and left without.
He's
How
got
much
the
did he promise to find? It's like a ridiculous amount,
Yeah, he
and
said
come
he'll
back.
find 2 trillion, 2 trillion very fast. He'll find 2 trillion. It's like no problem.
yeah.
And the reason is because they came hyped up on Russian propaganda that United States is a corrupt country.
Yeah.
They're gonna clean it up very very quickly. They believed their own Russian propaganda that they were feeding on. They came in. United States is not as corrupt as they thought. There was not a lot of fraud and abuse. There was zero fraud, actually. Maybe there is fraud. I actually think there is fraud, but they're so incompetent, they didn't find a single instance of fraud.
Well,
All the abuse, yeah.
they were looking in the right place. Elon Musk could have saved $2 trillion in America by shutting down the federal government.
All you had to do was just sit in the White House, in the Oval
Yeah,
Office, and
just
watch the fraud, man.
Just shut the White House down, and money saved.
Exactly. Oh man. And
I really
Musk
hope
has
that
the
this is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
well, Musk has the EU after him right now too, because X hasn't followed the new transparency regulations, and he's flipping out because he got €120 million fine, and he's losing his mind right now. Yeah.
Yes, but
Musk.
it's US going after the EU for now because they think EU like
Yeah.
it's all about free speech, absolutism, right?
Yeah.
But now United States and free speech, it doesn't exist. We're like below like Gambia or something.
Oh
I have
wow.
a list here. Yeah, we're like way down there. So who are
Yeah.
we to lecture the EU
I know.
on free speech? And it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
The-
And you
the
have
f-
like Marco Rubio, you have like all these guys, threatening EU
Yeah.
over
They,
the
they see free speech as being able to peddle lies and bullshit. That's the side of this they're trying to get at, right? Free speech to them is decimating the CDC so that vaccines can be bad. That's not free speech. That's stupidity.
All of the talking points that J.D. Vance and MAGA crew are throwing at Europe, I've heard all of this before on Russian state TV for years, and it's just made its way through Twitter, through efforts of Elon Musk. It made its way to the heads of these people, and now they're repeating it like it's their original thoughts because it's so against. They're like these contrarian geniuses who figured it out because they're going against the grain. They're going against the fake news CNN, and all they're doing is repeating Russian state said TV stories that Russians don't even believe, however dumb they are.
Yeah.
We have J.D. Vance repeating it. It's
Oh
embarrassing.
yeah. Yeah, Vance is is he a mouthpiece, that one? I actually need 1 second here. It sounds like somebody's a little elevated over something. Something might not be working for him. Give me 1 second here.
All right.
into the next news is the EU loan
Yes.
for Ukraine. The European Union has been working on a plan to give Ukraine a huge long-term loan backed by frozen Russian central bank assets, the money that was seized after Russia launched its full-scale invasion. So the idea of it was Russia destroys Ukraine, Russia's frozen money helps rebuild Ukraine. But Bloomberg revealed that the US quietly lobbied several European governments to oppose this EU loan plan. Unbelievable. US officials told them those frozen Russian assets should not be used now to support Ukraine's budget and survival.
Well, I'll
Instead,
tell you what, America, keep your
Washington,
fucking nose out. Sorry, carry on.
Instead, Washington argued the money should be saved as leverage for future peace deal with Russia. In other words, a bargaining chip in negotiations rather than funding Ukraine's resistance.
Yeah, basically give it back to them if they behave, which they won't.
That's a joke.
Basically, the crew in it's not even a government at this point. It's a mafia crew in White House. They're Russia controlled. They're doing everything. Like, how else can you look at this?
Mhm.
What you have to do so many mental gymnastics to kind of justify any of what's happening right now.
Hold on. That's not all though. Remember Trump's 28-point peace plan? So at the same time, Trump's team has been pushing the 28-point peace plan that turns those frozen Russian assets into a giant investment scheme.
Yes.
The plan says about 400 billion in frozen Russian assets would be used for reconstruction. The US would take 50% of the profits from investing that money. Europe would add another 100 billion of its own cash on top of that. And the rest of the frozen Russian funds would go into a US Russia joint investment vehicle to finance projects with Russia and build a common interest. And so no one wants to return to the conflict, basically.
At this point, I'm surprised the Americans aren't actually arming the Russians and sending them equipment and ammunition. You might as
This whole
well.
thing is a huge mafia-style business deal that's built on Ukraine's surrender.
But also because everything is so interconnected, it's at the expense of throwing Europe under the bus and at the expense of United States interests as well, because our interests are aligned right now. Everything Trump is doing, like remember when the Nord Stream pipeline was shut down, that boosted the United States gas industry. We received so much profit from selling liquefied natural gas to Europe. That was really good for our business. Trump is trying to reverse that right now. Obviously, it's going to put money directly into the pockets of his allies or close to him, possibly his corrupt sons or son-in-law, whatever. But it's not, it's against the United States interest. We're going to suffer. Our gas prices are going to go up because of this. And the same thing with selling arms to Ukraine. It is so profitable for United States military industrial complex, which is a huge part of our economy over here. We have liberals complaining about it, and rightfully so. It's very kind of exploded. It's very big, but this is the time when we need it. The time is right now, where we can help our allies when we can kick Russia's ass. And Trump is turning back on America's interests, where we can sell all this stuff to Ukraine. Europeans will pay for it gladly. Against our interest, he is doing what Russia wants him to do. It's like a mafia-run operation, basically.
Yep, and now he's going after EU and NATO. In this national security strategy that they released, in the section on Europe, on its own section, it warns that some NATO countries will become majority non-European in the future, raising questions about whether they'll stay loyal to the US. Says US policy should prioritize ending the perception and preventing the reality of NATO as a perpetually expanding alliance, and also frames Europe as being in civilizational decline and blames European elites for continuing the war in Ukraine instead of rushing to a ceasefire with Russia. I mean, these are all Russian narratives.
I've heard all of this on Russian state TV for years. It's just, and I'm sure they all think, oh, I have this original idea I picked up on Twitter.
Mhm.
I'm gonna share it. Like they're plugged into Russian bots,
Yeah.
basically idiots. This Elon Musk, he's like so in it. He's so about it, and they think that they're these contrarian geniuses, that they beat the system, that they unplugged from the evil CNN. They have this different way of thinking about things, but it's all coming from Russia state TV. You know, uh, believe me, CNN is much more professional when it comes to handling information with all its faults than Russia state TV.
Oh, well, for sure.
I mean, we are at a point right now that Russia is dictating American foreign policy.
Yeah.
Well, that's the interesting
White
thing.
House,
You were
yeah.
talking about how America still wants Europe to be loyal to America. Well, that loyalty has severely diminished over the last year since Trump got into power, and it's declining every single day. To the point where well, even the British intelligence aren't giving them information over Venezuela
Yeah.
because, or anything in Barbados, because of the bombings. They just don't want to be complicit in any of those attacks. So we've already got breakdown of communications between Europe and
Oh, yeah.
America.
Yeah.
And we've also got stuff happening in Germany and France where they're starting not necessarily conscription, but they're starting voluntary mobilization of their armed forces. They're trying to build up their armed forces, preparing for a war in Europe. And that's that. Screw America. That's got nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
But we're preparing for it, and we're looking at it seriously as this might happen. And obviously, Ukraine is kingpin to all this. If Ukraine folds, Europe is an open door now.
Yeah.
So that is why we've been supporting Ukraine for all these years. That's that's why.
Putin
The Russians
already
have been
said
sending
this,
drones over French nuclear sub bases.
Yep. And
Obviously,
just
you mentioned
today
earlier
was, yep.
Zelensky.
Yeah, so there
Sorry,
was a couple of drones.
I'm probably jumping your stories. What should
Oh
I?
no, we're already all over it. It's okay. But yeah, there was a assassination attempt on Zelensky. There was big drones that were flying after Zelensky's plane over Ireland
Yeah.
in neutral airspace. And the Ukrainian intelligence, they confirmed that it was indeed Russian, to no one's surprise.
Yeah.
And from what I can tell is the fact that it's only for the fact that Zelensky's plane landed early that they managed to miss these drones. Otherwise, they'd have been right in the flight path.
Yeah.
And you know what's strange? United States wants Europe to stand on its own, right? Like do your own thing, Europe. But no. You need to you need to give us the money. You need to buy the weapons from us. It's like, which one do you want?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, talk about buying of the weapons. A lot of countries are no longer taking on orders of American military equipment because they can't trust the supply. They're just not doing it, so they're just going to their own.
Yeah, us Canadians flip flopped. We I can't remember now, with some planes and a few things. We've already said screw that and gone somewhere else.
Yeah,
which I'm
Smart. You have to.
Yeah. And we're like next door neighbors.
Yeah, and I mean, such an ally of United States, Canada has been always. Such close ties, economical ties, cultural ties. All I remember, like you don't even need a visa or anything. Just grab your driver's license, hopefully unexpired, and just go to Canada. Answer a couple of questions. What do you want to see? When are you coming back? Nobody's checking on you, like, because it's like Canada. Come on, it's like our biggest ally. We're not expecting any threats. Nothing. It's like our friend, you know.
Yeah, just don't go on a Venezuelan boat, though.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear that family of that
Yeah.
fishermen? They're filing complaint, and good, very good. I hope they file complaint to UN, to whoever.
Oh.
It's really hard with these complaints, especially that Trump is he respects international law as much as Russia does.
Yeah.
But let them make it as loud as they can, because they basically killed these fishermen. And even if they are smuggling drugs, the people who are smuggling drugs are basically captive people of the cartels. Cartels are torturing their relatives. Cartels are making them do this. Fishermen have no say in whether they're going to transport drugs or not.
Well,
They're
here's the
not
other thing,
one.
Johnny. The taking out some small boat that could have like a few small bricks of cocaine on it. I mean, that boat doesn't have enough cocaine in it to get LA through breakfast on a Saturday morning, man. I'm not kidding, you know? And these are like almost the lowest of the totem pole people when it comes to this drug trade. You've accomplished nothing. You're just murderers. I mean, you haven't done anything.
I don't think there's any kind of like it's like policing where you have the right to just shoot to kill without any cause. I mean, I know cops do shoot people because I think they might have a gun and it's just like a banana or whatever. But, there's mistakes that happen. But you can't just like go out and just like, right, I'm gonna just kill. That's Judge Dredd territory.
Exactly.
That's science fiction.
Yeah.
And now, because people ask me like, why is this happening? Like, what's going on? Like, why is Trump attacking Venezuela? And I think everything that he's doing at Russia's request or at some Russian bot on Twitter or through social request or some amazing like brainstorm that's happening. But
Mhm.
it's all related to Russia, because all of the look how much of our fleet is actually in Caribbean Sea right now. The aircraft carriers are in Caribbean basin over there, going after two fishermen boats. We are pulling everything that we built throughout the decades of amassing our military power and influence around the world, the things that we need to protect Taiwan, to have presence in Mediterranean. We pulled it to kill 3 or 4 fishermen in Caribbean basin. Like, if Russia was dreaming about this, they could not have come up with a better plan.
Mhm.
So
Well, you do.
Venezuela might be actually more important to Ukraine, because there's a thought going around that Trump and Putin, that's what they're going to trade, basically. Putin will give Venezuela to Trump, and Trump will give Ukraine to Putin, to
Yeah.
Russia.
There's
So
a
they
lot of
will give
oil
to
in Venezuela.
they will give to each other something that they don't own.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
It's
so.
like,
In the run up to the election, when Trump kept saying drill, baby, drill, he forgot to tell us he meant in a stolen country.
and it's really dumb, because Venezuela cannot. The quality of the oil is such that they need these thinning agents that they're actually receiving from Russia to process and extract their oil. The oil is very dense, as I understand it, and it's very hard to do anything with it. It requires a lot of investment and involvement to do all this, which it was provided by Russia. Right now, Russia cannot do that, because Ukraine has been bombing oil processing stations all around Russia. Russia cannot sustain its good ally Venezuela. So they're saying, "Oh, Trump, do you want this great gift from us? Do you want Venezuela?" But Trump is not even considering that he has to send these thinning agents, which I don't know if we have them, because Russia was producing a lot of them just to sustain Venezuela oil production.
Right.
I
He
don't
just thinks
think
you're
basically,
he just thinks you're talking about the fat drug.
Yeah,
I
He's
don't
send
an
them
think
idiot.
Trump
Ozempic.
I don't think Trump cares about logistics because look at the rare earths deal with Ukraine that he wanted so
Oh
bad.
yeah,
And he got
the
it and then
big
forgot
deal.
about it. So
Yeah.
he just cares about Venezuela has oil and it needs to be mined.
And it keeps us from
Forget about
talking
this
about the
immediately.
Epstein files because he's going to be proved a very, very bad man.
It's not just the Epstein files as well. It almost feels like he's. I mean, all the other countries he's talked about in the past, Greenland, obviously, Canada, Suez, the canal.
Yeah.
You know, all these big plans he had of taking over, invasion or whatever. Now it just seems to be Venezuela. It's almost like he just like skips. He's just got like a big map, and he'll go that one.
Yeah, he's throwing darts around, right?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But like you
Thinking
say,
how much
it's always it's distraction.
Yeah.
I'm thinking how much is Trump really afraid of being proven PDF file at this point? Like, I think his base might still stick by him. Like uh, they may not care if he's a.
I love how you said that. Actually, PDF file.
Yeah.
Because YouTube has some.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's PDF.
That's why,
file. I like it.
Yeah, because I said very bad man because I didn't want to, so yeah, I'm using that one for sure.
Yeah, that's a clever one. I like that.
Yeah. A PDF file.
For a while when the was it No King's Day protests were happening, or because it wasn't YouTube, but another platform, they were blocking it so they wouldn't show videos of the protest. So people started calling it music festivals.
Yeah, I think it was called Fox News.
Faux news.
By the way, I don't know. You guys don't know me in personal life, but when I do something and I'm like, oh, or I stub my toe or something, Fox News, I do that all the time. It became such a habit of me. Somebody just heard it, and I don't even think about it. It just happens naturally.
Well, speaking of Fox News, Trump's always bitching about the news. Oh, fake news, blah, blah, terrible reporting and everything. Fox News are the ones that deserve all that being said to them, and they never hear any of it. It's so obviously not about balanced news. He just wants state-run media like some of his dictator buddies have, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to come to the point where we're going to hear some of these things that we're talking right here. We're going to hear it on Fox News as well.
Yeah.
And Trump is going to do the same all. He's going to say, oh, now we have fake news everywhere, until his bubble of MAGA is going to shrink and shrink and shrink.
Well, judging by the polls, it's getting pretty small.
There are some great moments on Fox News when they kind of like let it slip and just start, railing on Trump over something or other, or a Hegseth or something stupid happens, and they do kind of like accidentally let it out sometimes.
Yeah, every so often you catch them in that moment where, oh my God, how do I blah blah blah, and they find a spin, right?
I've accidentally told the truth.
Yeah. Oh, it's awful.
I do have a little bit of an interesting good news, so to speak. Basically, you guys know about Russian mill bloggers. They're very chauvinistic. They very Ukraine hateful, Western hateful. They hate United States, Europe. Basically, everything JD Vance is saying about Europe, it comes from them. And one of them is our good friend Maxim Kalashnikov. We talked about him before. And they're very optimistic about the war. They're always like, even if Russia takes like a millimeter of Ukrainian land, they're like, oh, Ukraine is about to fall. Did you see this? Did you see that? And they just had, so Maxim Kalashnikov, he has this guy, Yuri Goroshko, with him, and they're discussing like the war as it's going right now, and they're not too happy. And I had to translate it. This is amazing. So Maxim Kalashnikov says, "You understand yourself what needs to be done now. I repeat, very, very harsh times are coming. A prolonged war will turn into an economic crisis. An economic crisis will turn into a social one, and a social one will turn into a political one." And his co-host says, "I want to address our viewers. Those who don't know what will happen tomorrow should open the textbooks for ninth and 10th grade and look at what's happening here 100 years ago." Right? So 100 years ago, that's the breakdown of Russian Empire.
Yeah.
What contributed to this? So he didn't say it, but he's alluding to that. So what contributed to the breaking up of the Russian Empire, which they're kind of trying to build it back? Uh, but obviously it's not going their way, at least as far as Ukraine is concerned. So what contributed to this? The first was World War. The World War One contributed to the breaking down of Russian Empire. 3 years of war, the impoverishment of the population, discontent in the army, a decline in production, and as a result, civil war. Well, a revolution, then a civil war. Yes, at first they removed the Tsar, or like the emperor. They thought they'd be better that way. And only later the Bolsheviks come. If you don't believe Maxim and me, go and read a history book. So they're already talking about Russia being like collapsing. These Russian mill bloggers are talking about this. And then Maxim responds, "Yura, I tell you, the 3 years of an unpopular war is the limit." So we already in the year 4 of this unpopular war, and Russians are feeling it. They are understanding that if this goes on, Russia will collapse. And I think this is very good news. The only thing we need is get rid of Trump, unite the Europe, kick Russia's ass, and watch this evil empire go through another cycle of falling apart.
See, the thing is about this whole, Russia collapsing. We saw so many people talking about that in the first year of the war, or of this part of the war, this stage.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. Russia just seems to manage to just like cling on, just like fingernails, just hanging onto that cliff
Yeah.
every single time. I'm not too sure that Russia will collapse. Might collapse for some people, but
Maybe if we stop saving it every time. I mean, maybe if Trump doesn't do whatever he can to save Russia, maybe it will be better. Because of course it's hard. It's not easy to collapse a big empire like that. Which Putin spent last 25 years on unifying the people behind him. It's Russian war. It's not just Putin's war. They
Yeah.
all want this.
It would be for the world if we took the regions and broke it up into, their own states, so to speak, or whatever. I think collectively there's enough of that Russian spirit and thing that they have that quite a few of them would end up back together anyway. I'm not sure how it would all work out. But
the breakup of the fall of the Berlin Wall and the breakup of the USSR, we did have lots of American Russian countries forming out of that and becoming independent. But some of them are still
very loyal. Yeah. So
all of this is being held by a heavy investment into information space. Russia spends billions of dollars on this. It is so important for them. And also, Russia is in a constant state of collapse. If they don't grab territory, if they don't win in Ukraine, they will collapse. We spoke about this
they're
with
very
Slavi.
military based for industry and stuff and whatnot right now. It would be hard for them to just stop.
And Russia is not like a unified country. It's not just one thing. It's a bunch of states within. It's a federation. It's a union of countries. Nothing is really holding them together. Some of them are Muslim. Some of them are historically Buddhist. Some of them have their own thing going on, like a Tuva, for example. They only joined recently during World War II. Um, Nothing is holding them together besides like this hatred for the West, this chauvinism, the idea of Russian supremacy, that Russia will rule and dominate the world. But if Russia starts losing on the battlefield, on the battleground, the nationalistic movements within these states within Russia, they always rise. In fact, there were huge uprisings in Dagestan right before Putin attacked Crimea and annexed Crimea. Um, they had a choice. They're going to go to war with their own Dagestan or attack Crimea. They attacked Crimea, and all of the nationalistic movements kind of subsided and were under control. But if you don't have those victories, if you're not adding to Russian Empire, the nationalist movements rise and Russia falls apart.
I'd like to see it happen.
Yeah, me too. I dream about it. I wish upon a star.
Yeah. The original thought today was to do one of those, let's just keep it to an hour and then do a second half of a show. But I'm only going to have about another 15, 20 minutes here. And then I'm going to have to get a few things going on with my son and whatnot. So I'm figuring we'll just let it run. There's no point in stopping and starting for an extra 20, 30 minutes or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good idea.
So yeah, what's on the list there, Slavi? Where do you want to go next? We do have some questions we can throw in as well.
Questions. Yeah. After this, I have an interesting article, and it's called Europe's Nuclear Option. So why Trump's it's not. Why Trump's Ukraine abandonment threat is turning into an economic war. So this past week, European officials privately warned that if the United States abandons Ukraine, Europe is considering what they're calling a nuclear option. That option is not military, it's financial. Specifically, dumping up to 2.3 trillion worth of US debt, mainly US Treasury bonds, currently held by European governments, banks, and institutions. The warning is blunt. If Trump forces a Ukraine surrender deal or walks away from supporting Ukraine, Europe will no longer underwrite American global leadership quietly. And this level of bond dumping could crash markets far worse than 2008. But it's most likely not going to happen because it would hurt Europe as well. But it's a good
And it
piece
would
of
only benefit Russia, as far as I can see.
yeah, and it's a good leverage to hold over Trump to not abandon Ukraine.
It's also the kind of language that he understands. It's direct financial threat.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, it's high time that we get a bit more tough talk and whatnot from the whole EU, because Trump's going crazy treating them like garbage at the moment. So, it only kind of makes sense, but it's more beneficial from the Ukraine perspective if Europe and America and everybody would just fucking get along well enough to get this sorted and done. Get, properly. Not Ukraine give up all this territory and so on and blah, blah, but do it properly. Come on, I
really do hope that Europe finally gets up and starts doing things. I don't know if they've realized it or not. I don't know what the atmosphere is over Europe, but it's They gotta win this for humanity and
Yeah,
help
yeah.
Ukraine win this. Um, but what I've personally been seeing, um, I there's no political will.
Well, at the moment in the UK, there's a lot of political fighting just within just our borders alone. I don't think anybody's even considering Ukraine as part of a political conversation, politics wise, because there's just so much infighting going on. The people hate the prime minister. It's just insane. There's talk of Farage, and we're just seeing it all just turn into mush.
And it
So
all goes back to Russia,
well,
who
yeah, but
benefits from
the idea that we now have a conversation about Ukraine is just like, why? We need to sort our own country out first. It's like Britain first, kind of like America first. It's the same sort of thing, and
Just on a rock.
and of course, like you say, this is all Russia's, dabbling behind all this. Well, it's destabilizing our country. And ruining the support for Ukraine because we can't, we can't do it from a good foundation,
right?
So that's the problem. That's what's going on in Europe.
The thing is, you can't tell missiles, oh, sorry, we're not ready. Britain first. Right?
Yeah,
we're not ready for it yet. Right?
Yeah.
We got to figure this out, and then.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
War, like, hold on.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, there was a comment I wanted to point out from Antifa Bog there in the chat. Europeans don't want to serve in the army and fight wars. Yeah, because historically everybody knows that's just never been a thing in Europe ever.
No, we don't do that sort of thing. But the kids don't want to do it. And not surprisingly, nobody wants to do it.
Nobody wants to, right? But I'm pretty sure that there would be some heavy duty enrollment in quite a few European countries if Russia isn't stopped.
Well, but here's the thing.
Like Russia is asking, do you want to do this? Are the missiles asking, do you want? No, they just come at you.
Yeah. But the thing is, everybody looks at World War II going, didn't we do this already?
Yeah.
Isn't that what all those people died for? And we have memorials for them. They all died. Millions of people died over that war. Yeah. And you're saying that didn't solve it? We got to do it again?
Yeah. Exactly.
This situation reminds me a lot of pre-World War II Europe, because this is, France didn't want to fight. European countries didn't want to fight. They would keep looking for all these peaceful solutions.
They just got out of World War One.
Yeah.
It was just 20 years after the World War One. They were going to Adolf Hitler, appeasing him, giving him land. They gave him a part of like Sudet from Czechoslovakia, right? Coming back with this signed document, like Chamberlain, right? Waving this, we got peace. And they didn't want to fight. They didn't want to fight. And then they got a fight.
Churchill had to fight for the fight.
Yeah.
Do you remember that quote from this French writer Eric Maria Remarque? Do you know this guy? He was writing a lot about the World War II and the pre-war France and during the war and everything. And basically, he said about Germans, they were not smarter than us nor stronger than us, but they were more decisive. And that's how France fell. In the first days of the war, the Germans quickly overcame, which was the greatest army in Europe at that time. So if you don't stand up to this bully, if you don't unite, if you don't show up to the fight, you will get destroyed. Millions of people will die. And that's what's happening right now. I feel like we're in a pre-World War Europe right now situation. Trump is doing everything to enable Russia.
Yeah.
Yep. And this peace deal is going to be start of World War III, really. It's always
Well,
been kind of it's
Come
desperate.
on, he got a peace. He got a peace prize. Come on, the man's good.
Yeah,
He's got
from FIFA.
FIFA. Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's a chocolate coin wrapped up in foil, but he got one.
No, he actually got a medal and he got a statue, and it was made just for him. This very special award for a special person.
Yeah, some people that run around kicking a ball in a field of grass gave him a medal and he's all proud and happy of himself. I don't get it.
Like, how embarrassing is it? Like, I would be so embarrassed
Yeah.
if like an organization, not the Nobel Peace Prize, but in a different organization, they'd be like, "We made a special prize for you." I'd be like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're representatives of the British Egg Board, and we decided to give you a peace prize, Mr. President, in the shape of an egg sprayed gold. Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Well, Putin announced the war with Europe, as far as I'm concerned. The things that he said is exactly the things that he said before he attacked Ukraine. The actual language was, if Europe wants to attack Russia, which obviously there's no European countries trying to attack Russia, but he said that is the same thing about Ukraine before they attacked. If Europe wants to attack Russia, we will attack them. We're ready. We're going to fight. And and then he said that Europeans are getting ready for the inevitable war. So basically, Europe is going to attack Russia, as far as he's trying to say. And then, so in that context, there is going to be war. Russia is going to attack Europe very soon. And people think that it has to be like a full-scale invasion, like they attacked Europe, but not necessarily. Russia can shut down any European airport at will by sending few dummy drones in that direction. They don't even have to be armed. Russia can create all kinds of confusion. They can stop all kinds of communications in Europe. They can create logistic difficulties and problems with supply chains. And then they have full support of China. And as we know, China has been producing critical infrastructure projects for Europe for decades at this point. And they have recently shut down some of the things in Europe. I think Slavi said, was it in Spain? They shut down some, like a power station or something. Basically, that's like a
train station.
Train station. Yeah, that's like a practice for what's going to happen when Russia attacks Europe. That's how you attack Europe. You can.
He was smelling weakness. That's why he's doing these kind of attacks. I mean, Putin has been at war with the West. I mean, a hybrid war.
This whole
It
time.
doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be a kinetic war. Most likely, it's not going to be a kinetic war.
Yeah.
It will be a hybrid war.
If they shut down with
different ways. And Putin chose war, so you don't get to stand there. Europe doesn't get to stand there and be like, I don't feel like fighting. They're coming.
Yeah.
They chose war.
They'll just shut down all your Wi-Fi enabled Samsung dishwashers, and then you'll all be fucked.
Exactly. And people underestimated how powerful that can be, because Russia sends $500 million worth of missiles and drones to shut down part of Ukrainian electrical grid for half a day. Russia and China can do that remotely in Europe. To the point that Europe has not seen that kind of devastation. And you don't even have to send an army in there.
Yeah.
And they will do it. I'm so sure of it. Like the way Putin is talking, we've heard all this before.
Yep. Believe them when they tell you who they are. And it really seems like we're starting to enter kind of the next phase into this multipolar world.
Mm-hmm. Very much. Good point.
And nobody really cares about being like it's maybe we need to get into more like talking about what this multipolar world looks like, or from Dugin's fantasies.
Yeah.
Oh, did you read Dugin? That's like a Russian Nazi writer. Didn't he have like
He's
a
like
really nice?
Putin's brain. He's the mastermind behind kind of
He had a really nice chat with Tucker Carlson, right, where they discussed how horrible Europe is and how amazing Russia and a potential friendship of Russia and United States is.
Yeah, multipolar world is basically all the little countries get absorbed into. There's going to be United States, Russia, and China.
Mm.
That's it. And everyone else is going to be a colony, a slave.
Yeah.
And that's multipolar world. Basically, there's no respect for culture, individuality. It's going to be like a even worse version of Soviet Union.
Mm.
Slaves. It's complete slavery. No individuality, no culture, no his. Forget about all that.
Yeah.
No.
No, just surf surrounding countries that just do what they're told, and the whole own.
So if that's going to be like Russia's attack on Europe, and it's not going to be like conventional warfare, because let's face it, they haven't got any fucking tanks left. There's no more museums to rob for tanks. How do we fight back? I mean, are we going to fight back in a conventional manner with tanks and soldiers, or do we have to do it on a technological level?
Oh, we help Ukraine, so Ukraine can do that.
Yeah.
You long range weapons to Ukraine. Ukraine will do that, and let Ukraine strike Russia, because Russia is really it's in a dire situation. That's why it's making all this chaos now. They only do this when they're hurting, and they're hurting now.
Yeah, but I'm saying when it becomes to a European war and it's just not all on the Ukrainians.
Right.
It's already a European war. I mean, they're
no, but he means openly. He means like
yeah. As in Russia has declared war.
Yeah.
Russia is never going to declare war.
Yeah, it's going to be a special European operation.
You get his point, though, right? It's
listen, Russia never attacked Ukraine, according to Russia. They never attacked Ukraine. They're not going to attack Europe. You have to figure it out for yourself. Once your airports are not working, once your communications are disabled, disrupted, once you have chaos, your politicians are serving Russia directly, you have to figure out that the war has already begun. But Russia will never acknowledge it.
But how will Europe fight back? Europe will cut off, it's still, I don't know why they're paying this, but it will cut off all whatever money Russia is getting through these ghost tankers, everything.
There was a thing.
Cut them off. I know they still have China, but I mean, Europe, there's still a lot of things Europe can do to prevent this.
But Europe announced today, the EU, they've struck a deal, and they will have Russian natural gas imports phased out 100% by 2027.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I saw that.
Very
as well.
good. Very good.
But that's in a year.
Yeah.
So
they said by the end of 27, so it's even longer, right?
that's the thing. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than nothing. I'll take it. At this point, I'll take whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. At this rate where we are right now, I think things will start happening a lot faster.
Did you guys catch how Christian?
Hold on, Johnny. One sec, because we're pushing on our time here. We got a few more minutes. Okay. So if it's a short one, go for it. If it's a long one, we'll,
It's a short one. So Kristi Noem, during a December 2nd meeting at the White House cabinet stated that Trump is to thank for no hurricanes this season. She said, "Sir, you made it through hurricane season without a hurricane. Even you kept the hurricanes away. We appreciate that." So this is like a cultist behavior, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like thanking Trump for no hurricanes. Like
Yeah.
we remember me and Slavi. I grew up in Soviet Union. We used to thank Communist Party for like a warm summer, or for like a cold winter, for lots of snow if that's what you need, for whatever was happening with the like the weather. We used to thank Communist Party, and you had to like literally put your hand on the chest and like
Wow.
like a cult. And this is like this is happening here right now. I think that's kind of, what do you guys think?
It's similar style behaviors. Yeah.
I have a super chat from Papa Dutch on
Yeah.
topic. Thank you so much, by the way. He is saying, same as World War II, the USA dragged its heels until hit by the Japanese. I wonder what Pearl Harbor will be like this time and where.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Russia is never going to do anything like a Pearl Harbor. That would be, it's never going to happen. Like if that's what you're waiting, it's never going to be like that.
It might not look like Pearl Harbor. Again, it can be hybrid, might be
Yeah.
huge
It's gonna be a
cyber, I don't know,
hybrid.
blackout, like
Yeah.
like
Sure.
a nuclear kind of option, but not nuclear missile.
Mhm.
Kind of like how Europe is calling their just in case plan the nuclear option,
Mhm.
because it's one of those things. Once you do it, you can't go back. Like you
Mhm.
unleash it.
Yeah.
How about we give her the thoughts and wrap ups and say our thanks and stuff? And oh, well, look at that. And we have a shout out super chat here to do as well. We got Michael Michaels in the chat. He's keep it tight, chill, baby. Shit is getting real. You're not wrong, man. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Very cool indeed. It is getting very real. What do you think, Slavy?
Let's wrap it up. Johnny, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Russia brought this war to our doorsteps right now. Every person is a private front line. We all have to do it. We cannot, Russia's not going to let you escape. You either support Ukraine right now, or you're going to support Russia. And that's where it's all going. So, yeah, let's make sure Ukraine wins.
Very well said.
Absolutely. Dunk, final thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I concur. It's all on Ukraine. Those poor bastards have been fighting this war for several years now. Even before the invasion, the annexing of Crimea, all the shit that's been happening in Ukraine, and those poor buggers who had to face it in basically protection for the rest of us. And yeah, we just got to support them as much as we can. Just wish we could do more.
Yeah. Well, we can keep supporting, keep being loud, keep talking about Ukraine, and keep showing up. Do you want to close?
Yeah, well, we got we'll do thanks for the Shills team here. We got Mexi Girl, Shayna Caldwell, Jose, AI Alchemist, Liam Wakefield, and Super Chat Matt in our chat helping us today. Big thanks, everybody. And I got a couple of Super Chats to do here as well. So we got Adam Rounds came in with Slava Ukraine. Hero Slava, good shout. And then we got Anita K came in with a 10 euro super chat, and there's not a message on it. So tag me in the live chat if you want something said, Anita. Huge thanks. Thank you very much. And then Kakariki there, we used to say Kakariki Firehawk, but we know. Came in with a good one here too. No beers for Russo folk. Get lost. Find another pub. I like it. Very well. Very cool indeed. Over to you, Slavi. Yeah.
Right. Well, I'd like to thank the moderators, Broadcast Cat and SSW Custom. Thank you so much for always being here for every live stream. And if anybody else wants to mod on Channel Yarchenko, please let me know in the chat or in the comments. We would love to have you and be part of the team. The boys need help. So, yeah, let me know. And my final thoughts as we go into this holiday season, while lights go up and the world talks about peace, we couldn't be further from just and lasting peace. Real questions are unavoidable. Will Europe stop talking and finally put action behind its words? Will the West defend this order or be destroyed? Will we choose stability built on justice or surrender dressed up as realism? Because this war is no longer just about Ukraine. It's about whether the world order, as we know it, can still be saved. Here's the truth that matters. Trump administration may be slipping, but the American people are not. To every American and Westerner who has spoken up, donated, shared, and refused propaganda, thank you. Thank you, everyone, to all the viewers for all your support, and to everyone who keeps showing up for Ukraine day after day. Your support keeps this truth alive every week. And Ukraine is still fighting. Will we? Be brave like Ukraine. Stay loud. Stay human. Have a safe and wonderful holiday season. Slava Ukraini.
Herom Slava.
Slava.
See you soon, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
It's over. Go home. Go.